Hello and welcome. You're watching The Winning Post. I'm Andira Lalwani, and on this episode, we're going to talk about all the racing action from Pune. But first up, the headlines.
On the episode this week, we bring you a look at what's in store for the Pune Derby this week as the new sponsors Kingfisher Ultra take over the mantle, as well as a look at the form of the top contenders for the big race and the Winning Post tips for who will win the big one. The Indian monsoon is about the her shores, and with it, only the last of the monsoon derbies are yet to be run. The monsoon derbies that start during the summer in Bangalore have counterparts in Pune, Mysore, Kolkata, and Hyderabad. These races set the benchmark for the winter classics and are the races that begin to separate the wheat from the chaff. Sergeant at Arms has emerged as the leading classic contender, having won the Kingfisher Ultra Bangalore Derby in July, and is likely to retain his unbeaten record when he runs the Mysore Derby in less than 2 weeks.
The first right-handed turn and swing away towards the 1800-meter marker. Who makes the rules leads the field by about a length in front as they race away towards the 1600-meter marker. About 2.5 in front of Ice Glacier, and beautifully settled back to run third at this stage is Sergeant at Arms Star Nijinsky. Another half a length behind comes the next Ica. England is another 2 behind, tucked in towards the rail side is Astor Rose. Captain Morgan is another length behind. Starcracker is hugging the rails. Then comes the other 2 of Supreme General, Bold March, and Magistero is another 3 lengths behind. They race away towards the 1200-meter marker. Back to the leader, approaching the 1200 and passing it at the moment. Who makes the rules, calling the tune by about a length and 3/4 to 2 in front of Ice Glacier in second. Further 2 behind is Sergeant at Arms. Another 3/4 lengths behind is Star Nijinsky. Ica. Astor Rose is one which is taking the rails run, who's been passed on the outside by Captain Morgan. England is in between runners. Then comes Supreme General, is starting to gradually improve positions. Further back, another length behind is Starcracker. Then comes Bold March, and still running last of 12 runners is Magistero. They are coming towards the 800-meter marker and back to the leader as they come towards the home straight. Who makes the rules in a start-to-finish attempt is always being chased by Ice Glacier. Sergeant at Arms is gradually improving positions and tracking on the outside is Star Nijinsky. Ica. Astor Rose is the one which gets a lovely race run and being produced about 6 wide off the fence is Captain Morgan. Who makes the rules as the leader? And just look at the public rage here with Sergeant at Arms comes up with a devastating run on the outside. Goes ahead by about 2.5, 3 in front of Who makes the rules. Then comes Ice Glacier, Astor Rose, Ica. Further back comes the next Star Nijinsky, but inside the final 50 meters, and he can go ahead straight to the cues here at the winning counter as Sergeant at Arms has won the 2016 edition of the Kingfisher Ultra Derby Bangalore Grade 1.
Kolkata fell to Who Makes the Rules, and Hyderabad witnessed a major upset when Star Nijinsky edged out Astor Rose, even as the winner of the Hyderabad Colts Trial Stakes and Poonawalla Breeders' winner, Accolade, failed to get into the gates. Licking his proverbial wounds, he has returned to Pune to take a tilt at the Kingfisher Ultra Pune Derby. This Grade 1 race had been sponsored for nearly 2 decades by Nanoli Stud, who will now pass on the reins of hosting the creme de la creme of the Pune season to Kingfisher Ultra. With the 3-day Oktoberfest part of the racing festivities, it promises to be special.
Well, we are lucky to get Kingfisher as a sponsor. Nanoli has sponsored the race for close to 20 years, so it was disappointing when they withdrew. But Kingfisher was our Indian Derby sponsor, which is the biggest. So when we heard of Nanoli's withdrawn, I approached the management of Kingfisher, and I'm very happy they decided to sponsor the race. So it'll be a debut for them here, but as you know, it's along with the Oktoberfest. So we hope that it'll be another very big weekend with them and the beer weekend. They have set certain ground rules that on Derby Day, it'll be only Kingfisher that will be sold. But they have allowed the beer to be sold in the evenings and before and after the race. So there is some cooperation. It'll work with time, but both the beers will really become a beer fest over the weekend. 2 big beer brands, so I think it's good for both IGCC and Kingfisher. Well, it's a wide open derby. It's no outstanding horse. I don't know who the runners are. Accolade, of course, was unlucky to be withdrawn at the start. The Deccan Derby, he's the form horse. And with a bit of luck, I think he should be the form favourite to win.
With 12 possible runners, the favourite is almost certainly going to be the pacey shroff train Accolade. The winner of the Breeders' Million over 7 furlongs and the Hyderabad Colts trial, Accolade will be going to the 10 furlong Pune Derby trip for the first time in his career. Accolade is a son of Burden of Proof out of Al Nasreya. He is a full brother to Acclaimed, and if there are any question marks on his ability to stay, these are well founded. Acclaimed is a high-class sprinter, and his only effort in a 10 furlong race, the Summer Bangalore Derby, saw him finish in the ruck. To Accolade's credit, he settles beautifully, and that will help him see out the trip. He is the classiest horse in the field, and if not stamina, his class should see him home.
The Breeders' multi-million Grade 1 after even dispatch from the gates. And on settling down, it's Commonwealth just showing out on the outside. St. Andrews being joined in past by Shivalik Shine. As they swing round the corner and enter into the straight, they have a little over 400 to go, and it's Spirited Region still the leader from Shivalik Shine. Then the St. Andrews. Ellora also looking good at this stage. Eyes Glacier coming up from the shortest possible from the inside rails. Commonwealth. Accolade now beginning to move on the outside. Going inside the last 400 meters there. And it is Spirited Region now being cornered by Accolade on the outside. And Accolade gets the measure of Spirited Region fighting back on the inside. It's Accolade in the last 100 meters. Goes past Spirited Region. Then there is St. Andrews and Commonwealth going inside the last 50, and it's Accolade going to lift the race off. Accolade winning this one from Commonwealth, and in my dream finishing in a close call. Then comes Ice Glacier, Germanicus, Bold March.
They are racing in the feature event of the day and settling down to race Leading Legend towards the fence. Palace on the outside. These two are matching engine early. Leading all the way by about 5 to the good of Palace. On the length behind, now being pulled out is Royal Scepter, followed by Who Makes the Rules and Accolade. Inside the last 2 furlong now, and Who Made a Leading Legend by about 3.5 to 4 in front of Who Makes the Rule. A brakes are being released on Accolade. Another length behind is Royal Scepter. Palace fading out inside the last furlong now. Leading Legend by a length in front of Accolade, Who Makes the Rule, charging on the outside, but it's all going to be Accolade who strikes center line by about 2.5 to the good of Who Makes the Rules. Accolade triumphs, lifting the Deccan Colts Championship stakes in fine style.
His best performed rival is Germanicus, who won the Grade 3 SA Poonawalla. Germanicus finished about 5 lengths behind Accolade in the Breeders' Million and will need to stay better than his rival to reverse that form. He was followed home by Silken Eyes, who has been supplemented to this race. Silken Eyes will stay well, and his trainer Kuji Katrak was sounding upbeat when the winning post team spoke to him.
50 million even dispatched from the gate by all the 6 runners, and as the field settles down past the 1400 and take the rising ground, it's Rocket the leader, about 2 lengths in front of Magical Memory. Round the turn and into the street, and Germanicus on the outside has gone to the front, is about 1.5 lengths in front of Arak. After that, there is Silken Eyes making a forward move. Then there is a Magical Memory, but Germanicus in the last 1 furlong is about 2.5 lengths ahead. Silken Eyes is the one charging up on the outside. It's Germanicus from Silken Eyes, Germanicus, Silken Eyes, Germanicus holds on in the SA Poonawalla multi-million from Silken Eyes. Then there's Eternal Sunshine.
I am putting a final entry for Silken Eyes in the Derby. I think she has definitely improved on her last run. Getting the trip is something which I am fairly sure that she'll get the trip. Now, how good the other contenders are, one has to really see. That I've improved a couple of lengths is for sure. But will that still make me... I think I should hit the frame at least. I'm not going to say anything more at the moment. I suppose if Accolade run, he's definitely the first chance horse. There's no question about it.
I know I'm riding a good filly, sir. With Accolade in the frame, it looks a bit more tough now. But my filly's got a life chance. She showed last time in the PBM, like she's got some ability. She can fight out with the colts. She came with a good run. So we are quite optimistic she'll run a big race. The mile, up till mile, she showed she gets the mile perfectly. But extra 400 meters, that only will come to know in the race, depending on the pace of the race. But I guess she'll sort of get the trip. But I don't. It's a big race, it's a prestigious race, and everybody wants to win. I'll try to be there. Try to win it, sir. It's quite a tricky track to ride. You got a short straight. You got to take a spin in the straight. Good horses also have got beaten over here. So it's a bit of a tricky track. But once you know the track, you know the horse, it's quite simple.
The
The Kingfisher Ultra Derby has often thrown up a few surprises, and beyond the top three contenders, there are two raiders from South India. Neil Darasha has left in Attorney General and supplemented Namit to the field. Attorney General finished fourth behind Sergeant at Arms in the Mysore Courts trial, but was a long way behind while Namit was third. Namit is better over a trip and is likely to track that form.
Namit comes to know first, the lead Attorney General. Bold March is the one which has been asked for an acceleration. And just look at the public ratio there. Sergeant at Arms comes up with a good turn of foot on the outside. And Sergeant at Arms goes ahead by about half, 3/4, a length and a half to 2 in front of Namit. Bold March, Attorney General. Then comes Sporting Pleasure, Lorenzo and Narwak. But inside the final 100 meters, if you're looking at the glasses, drop down the glasses and head straight to the counters as Sergeant at Arms has pulverized this opposition to lift the Jai Chamarajodiar Golf Club. 2,000 guineas from Bold March. Then comes Namit.
Amongst the others taking their chances are a number of pretenders to Accolade's Western India crown. This brigade is led by Malesh Naredu, who will saddle Unforgettable You, who ran second the last time out. She will need to find a lot more.
First from Bounty Queen. Unforgettable You getting a nice opening down in the center to go ahead. Then there is a Frosty, after that is Shivalik Road. But Unforgettable You has broken away into a 2.5 length lead. Over Striking View is the one galloping up on the outside. Frosty has fallen back in third, but Unforgettable You is a length and a half in front of Striking Story on the stand side. Striking Story from Unforgettable You. Striking Story gets it from Unforgettable You. Then there's Frosty, Shivalik Road, Aeolus Maximus, Gregorian Chant.
Pune Derby looks to be quite open. The only horse looks to be with the form is Aquilate, who is done very well. But he's a little temperament horse, and we all have to take a chance. I have a runner, Unforgettable You. I'm surely going to take my chance. Pune is being my hometown, and I've been lucky enough to win few derbies as a jockey. In my first year as a trainer also, I just missed out, and I was lucky to win on course at the Pune Derby. I'll definitely try my luck in this Pune Derby also.
Highland Breeze from Rehanullah Khan's yard won his last start over 9 furlongs, but that was in a Class 3. He too has a lot to find.
Well, he's a winner in Class 3, and I think he's a decent stayer. So, thinking that in mind, I will run the Derby, and we'll have a good show. I don't say I have advantage, but on this Pune track, you have to consider a lot of factors, especially the track condition of that day, whether it's going to suit your horse or not. So that's the $1 million question. And being a stayer, I don't think I have an edge, but I think I should be running a good race in the Derby. If Accolade runs, he's got a superior advantage on everybody. After that is Germanicus. He's a nice horse. He's beaten me twice in Bombay. So definitely those two are the main contenders.
Adhiraj Singh Jodha's stable has hit a purple patch, and he will saddle Vulcan, who only shed his maiden in his last start, even if it were over a 10 furlongs. This is a different pond with very different fish to be swimming with.
I've got Vulcan running. He definitely stays the trip. He's bred to stay. He's won a 10 furlong race. So I'm just hoping that the stamina will prevail over class. There are a lot of good runners like Accolade, Germanicus, Silken Eyes. So I mean, I'm just hoping to be in the frame and hopefully run a good race. I always knew that he's going to get a trip. He's a bit of a temperamental horse, so I had to take it a little easy with him. He's been withdrawn a couple of times because of gate issues. Hopefully I've managed to sort that out, and he went in quietly in the 10 furlong race. And I always knew that he was an out-and-out stayer, so I'm just hoping that he'll run a good race. Well, at this stage of a 3-year-old career, not many would get a 10 furlong. So in that sense, he's definitely got a slight edge. But then there are a lot of horses with a good turn of foot and who are probably bred to stay. They just haven't gone the distance. But I don't think that should be a hindrance to them. So may the best horse win.
Another who shed his maiden on his last start is Narendra Lagad's Eiger Tiger. That was in a Class 4 race, and it's true that in order to win, you must run.
My horse has just come right. Eiger Tiger, who has run very well right through Bombay. He was just being bridesmaid all the time because he had a little problem with his mouth. He's come right, and I think maybe he's just in time for the Derby probably. He will stay this 1.25 miles, 1.5 miles. He's an out-and-out stayer. There is no doubt on that now.
None of these horses have the class that Accolade has. Most are hoping that he will not stay and that they will. While he probably is not a genuine stayer, he will be far too good for the slot and is the winning post tip to win the Derby. To round it up, here are the winning post tips for the top 4. First, as we said, is Accolade. Second will be Silken Eyes. Third, Namit. And fourth, Germanicus. The Kingfisher Ultra Pune Derby is the dazzling highlight of the weekend, and 11 will vie for the top honours. Accolade stands tall among the runners, however the lineup does have more than one dark horse. Having run over 1,600 as his longest distance so far, it will be interesting to observe how Accolade tackles the extra quarter of a mile. The 2,000 meter race can be a tricky proposition for the 3-year-olds, hence the obvious one to be in the spotlight is Accolade, for his classic conquest earlier. Highland Breeze and Vulcan have the experience over the distance but are yet to show the class factor. And the 2 fillies, Silken Eyes and Unforgettable You, also bear watching as both have the potential to improve as well as stay the trip. From the betting angle, Unforgettable You can be expected to fetch some returns on a place bet. And if you are the one to like the fillies to outlast the coals, an each way bet on the said filly should give you something to shout out about. Imitation Game scored a facile win in her last start, and the way she won, she should be in the thick of things this time out as well. She stayed the grueling 2,400 meter trip extremely well last time and can be expected to provide an encore. Adam might return superior after a good third to Dancing Prances recently and has the capability to turn the tables against his arch rival this time around. The weights too are in favour of Adam and the Shroff-trained Contender. Bull Run has disappointed twice, but I would still recommend persisting with the Katrak ward as he has the potential, particularly over the distance. After all, he did win the Pune Derby. He can pull it off this time as well, as he too would be serious about redeeming his reputation. His 2 losses will surely see a jump in the odds, and I feel this time he would delight his backers. Sparkling Eyes is nicely poised, and with her recent consistent placing, she has the form to back the 1200 meters FA and KA Irani trophy. The 3200 meters Suresh Mahindra trophy can take a lot out of any horse, and is the ultimate test of stamina. Jigsaw has shown tremendous strength of character over the longer trips, and although he is carrying top weight, his performance begs to take him seriously over his rivals. He does dictate his own pace, and that can be an advantage.
And that's all we have time for in this episode of The Winning Post. Remember, if you've missed anything at all, you can always catch it on our YouTube channel. We look forward to hearing from you on Facebook, on Twitter, so make sure you keep engaging with us. Goodbye, and until next time, may the horse be with you.